Okay, so the aim of today's game is to test out whether or not rebuilding the the core for the line output transformer has brought back to life the set. I've also given everything a clean. It is now perfectly sparkling inside. It's quite difficult to portray that on the camera, but if you look, there's no dust anywhere. There was quite a bit of dust on the CRT. There's a little bit of corrosion build-up on the anodes connections. I'll clean that off with some IPA or whatever. Should be okay. I don't think that'll be a problem, to be honest. So here's the thing, I want to test it. I'm going to load it down with my EHT probe. That's not going to be enough to load down the EHT out of this. It is going to skyrocket. I'm only going to run it for a couple of seconds because I want to prove that this works. Yeah, so let me try and figure out. I'm going to set everything up. We should also get some static sound now from the tuner because you know there's no EHT being shorting out, all loaded down, so the HD supply will be okay. And also our line drive driven voltages off the line transformer should be more than fully operational. Let me do a quick setup and we can get this all sorted. Okay, so I've loaded the EHT supply down with a couple, I don't know what they are, 100k resistors, 500k, that type of thing. You don't want to put too many, otherwise it won't fucking work. Let's get another croc clip. Sorry, crappy camera work again. Not very good at that, am I? One goes there. That's our highest potential. That'll go there. Right. So I've used a silicone tube, just sort of loosely put over. I'm hoping it'll be okay for a couple of seconds. Just a quick test. Let's see what's going on. I think maybe it's being loaded down too much. Shall we try disconnecting? Oh, hang on, I've done it all wrong. So what's the EHT on this supposed to be anyway? What, like 25 kV? Something like that. Reading about 12. But then again, I'm running at only, what does that say? Under 100? Quite low actually. It's not on the fry hour. Horizontal output. Let's put it at 80. Should be alright anyway. Well, I think we could hear the tuner there. I don't want to run it like this because it's, you know, it's going to start flashing over. We need to load the EHT system down. I suppose I could, just for the sake of the chain. Let's see. Get 1 kV now. But obviously it's being loaded down a bit too much. But it proves the point, the tuner's alive, and we've got line flyback EHT. So now it's just a matter of sorting out that H-stat control, isn't it? Marvellous. Okay. Rebuilding the H-stat control with silicone. I've also sanded the case down. So hopefully once this is dry, I think it'll take about maybe 24 hours, something like that, to dry. We can power the set on tomorrow. I've also put silicone to hold stuff down, as well as you know, to create a a bond between potential, I don't know what the right word would be, exposed vulnerable pieces of the plastic work from sanding down, or things which do have like the flash over residue on. So anyway, hopefully that should be alright, and it should just be a matter of now I think what I'll do is I'll let this dry, and then the only remaining thing I have to add on here is the EHT input into this, which comes through this little entrance on the side, which I've made sure to keep reasonably clear, and we should be alright to go, really. Yeah, nice. Look at this. I've hooked it up quite precariously. I just need to put some silicone on that EHT output from the line transformer, and put some silicone on those connections. I've got a croc clip for the low potential side. Look at this, man. This is it's great. It's so great. So it's in black and white because the thing is out of tune, but if I just slightly move the knob, look at that. That is just hilarious. That is the most hilarious thing I think I've ever seen. So it's out of tune because if I put auto mode on, you see it's not coming in straight away. So let's ramp up the voltage a little bit. I want to see what voltage I'm selecting here. Let's go to about 110-ish. Okay, maybe not. Oh, and that hurt my hand as well. Jesus Christ. Let's perhaps not do that. Okay. That's because our potential is exposed. So let's go back to under 100. Let's put it on somewhere there. I'm going to turn it on from the switch, the main switch. Let's see. You see where it's flashing over. I'm being quite naughty. I should really just cover the thing in silicone and just be done with it. Let me just put this over put the tube over there just now. Oops. If I can get it over. Just over it for now, so we don't have any more fireworks. I'll connect back up because my leads come off and we can try. Okay, let's try again. No arcing this time, of course, because silicone is an insulator. I really should have done it that way the first time around. Of course I have to adjust the H-stats. That's so cool. That is amazing. Okay, so doing a half final test now. Just got the thing all connected up, siliconed of course. Done some adjustments off camera. Let's give it a power up. I've also lubricated the fine tuning control, which was being a bit of a pain earlier on, but working perfectly fine now. As you can see, that is my test card. Lower the brightness, a little bit too bright. That is one of the best pictures I have seen on one of these types of sets. It is genuinely very good, really good contrast level. Never seen anything like that before. Perfect, really good colour and great definition. So, suppose Sony really did bloody know what they were doing. So I think the last thing I have to do really is just kind of reconstruct this. I've already adjusted the pin amp and the H-stat, brought that back in of course. I've adjusted the horizontal and vertical centering. So I think the last thing we need to do really is put the H-stat control, mount it back in, and also sort out the mains power lead, which has a nip in it. And then we can put the back on, and really that should be it. So I don't know whether I should bother making a video on that to add on to this, or whether I should call it quits. I'm not too sure, to be honest. But yeah, the colour is one of the best I've seen on one of these types of sets. Honestly, it's pretty amazing. Of course we can crank the contrast right up and the brightness right up, and get a very saturated picture if we wanted to. Definition isn't so bad either. That's a shame, it's blanking on the camera. So I turn the brightness down a bit. Yeah, amazing definition. Looks good. Okay, so that's the thing back in there. I'm just going to attach up this low potential point, and I've noticed it's getting a bit warm on this voltage divider. The network of resistors just on this side. It's getting a little bit warm. I'm going to keep an eye on it. It should be alright, it's just getting a little bit warm. You can see this is how I've wrapped up the HT wires. I've tried to, the idea is I've kept it out the way because it was all bundled up originally, if you remember, behind this. So doing it this way, it should sort of not happen anymore, it shouldn't arc anymore or anything. I'm wondering if this H-stat was potentially a replacement, perhaps maybe not the original type. That would probably make sense. I don't know though. I'm not an expert on these particular models, so I can only make the assumption, of course. I'm going to attach up the. I'm going to just put a crop clip back on there just for the moment whilst I'm testing. I would like to adjust the horizontal width a little bit, but it's not really a big deal. Yeah, as you can see, nice and clean now. Seems to be working okay. I'm going to check a couple of these caps, of course. But yeah, I'm pretty happy to button this up. Not a big deal. Okay, well, I've adjusted the HT preset, and I've gone through and adjusted the pin amp. I've checked the main smoothing caps. Well, it's actually a dual section. It's all right. There's nothing wrong with it, so I'm just not going to touch it. I've checked the whip taps because that's how you set these rather than an actual potentiometer. I've adjusted that. Seems okay. So I'm just gonna leave it as is now. I'm gonna let it run for a while. But honestly, again, one of the best pictures I've seen on a Trinitron. Very linear. Geometry is not so bad. The only thing I've done is sort of just play around with the H-stats. I've got it fairly good now, looks okay. Look at me, you can see me pretty clearly in it. Pretty good, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, well, I guess that's it then. There's nothing else to do really on this. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this two-part video. Stay tuned for more. I've got handful of other videos which are in the process of being edited, just very fucking slowly. If there's something you'd like to see, something specific, then feel free to drop a comment or whatever. Thanks for staying. I know it's a bit boring really watching someone else shake a camera around. It means a lot to me, and it's, you know, it's just fun sharing some of the projects I do, and a lot of the repairs, because it's useful information for other people. Anyway, till the next video. Bye.